in many people's eyes, Cavan versus Galway was the game of the weekend. I suppose a championship match in April, perhaps. A win, a valuable 2 points and a place in the Division 2 league final. But more important than all of that, automatic promotion back to the top flight of Gaelic football. So much at stake then, and our commentator for this one, Ger Canning.
Bad news for Cavan even before a ball is thrown in. Injury keeps out leading scorer Shawnee Johnston. Jack Brady is the one chosen to replace him in a forward line with strength and height aplenty, from Garrod McKiernan at number 11 to the very tall Michael Argue at full forward. Galway also freshen up their forces with Garrett Bradshaw, Patrick Sweeney and Danny Cummins getting late call-ups, and an injury to midfielder Fionn O'Corrine means a start for Eamon Brannigan, with the likelihood that Tom Flynn will partner Paul Conroy. Eddie Kinsella from Laois was also in charge in 2011 when these two counties met in the All-Ireland Under-21 final. Incidentally, Galway won that 2011 Under-21 final at Croke Park. They need to win today as well, while a draw will suffice for Cavan. Shane Walsh slinging it back here towards Brannigan. Finally kicked in beautifully, and David Wynne puts it over the bar. Cornerback comes in to get his second point of this year's league. Scored against Laois as well. He's scored here. 3 minutes gone. The teams are level. It's a lovely ball. Beautifully in as far as Danny Cummins. Cummins kicking, looking for another score for Galway and catching it beautifully. First point of the day for Danny Cummins. Well, it is refreshing to see two teams who are prepared to let the ball do the work. Killian Brady urged by the fans to leave it into that two-man inside forward line. David Givney, 1 against 1, has to score and does. 8 minutes are gone. And the Galway defence looked exposed there, left exposed, and Givney was able to beat the goalkeeper. All ends up once there was a slip there by Declan Kine. Danny Cummins feeds it forward to David Wynne. Wynne has scored already. This man hasn't tracked him. Brannigan's there. He fists it off the post, comes back down, and finished in the back of the net by Patrick Sweeney. A goal in the 11th minute. Well, it's an all-action game here. Wynne was setting it up. Brannigan was involved. It came off the post, and the player who reacted quickest of all was Patrick Sweeney. And Sweeney stuck it past Raymond Galligan to make it 1-4 to 1-1. Martin Riley turns inside. The man with the flashy boots here is Killian Clark. Clark takes it in his stride. That is a super score. That's a very good dispossession by Garrod McKiernan. Stole it off Danny Cummins. Carried on here strongly to kick this one and to put it over. And the teams are level for the second time. McVitie, 45 metres out, fancies his chances, and why not? He's made it this time. After they had 7 wides, Cavan finally get that point from the wing forward, and he makes it 1-6 to 1-5. It's cut out smartly by Tomas Corr to Martin Riley, in as far as Garrod McKiernan. Usually fancies the left, this one's on the right. He won't care as long as it lands where it's supposed to land. And listen to the cheer from the crowd, because Cavan have gone 2 points in front. Back as far as Martin Riley. Once again, Killian Clark. 90 seconds remaining in the opening half. Well blocked down by Tom Flynn, but that's going to be the game's second 45. And the 2 45s have been to Cavan. It's going to be the goalkeeper who will take it. Third long-range shot for Raymond Galligan to take. He's made his first, he's missed the second. Now this one, close to half-time, in the final minute of the opening half, would give Cavan a 3-point advantage. And it would be no more than they deserve, because they have dominated possession. They've missed a lot of chances, But that 45 went sailing over the bar off the right boot of Galligan from Lacken, and it's 1-8 to 1-5. Galway have work to do as we start the second half. They haven't scored for 20 minutes, and in that time Cavan have hit 6 points without reply. Paul Conroy down here. They're looking for a bright start to the second half. They might get it from Shane Walsh, and that is a very, very good start indeed. Out as far as Martin Riley. Once again Jack Brady here, getting away from his man, Cathal Sweeney. Beautifully in here as far as Gibney. That is a textbook score. Wonderful play to add to the goal he got after 8 minutes of the first half. So the first 2 points for Cavan in the second half coming early here. Shane Walsh got the first score of the second half. They need more from this wonderfully talented player. Eddie Brannigan, awkward angle, needs to make it, and he has. Rather amazingly, Galway have not had a wide in this match so far. 8 scoring opportunities, they've taken every one of them. Tom Flynn, now Gary O'Donnell from Tuam Stars. Paul Conroy lands it in there. An opportunity maybe for Shane Walsh to take it up beautifully. Shane Walsh causing a moment or two of worry and concern back in there. Eventually the kick comes from Eamon Brannigan and over the bar. And the local fans now just trying to summon up the noise level again. Kevin Walsh giving the direction. One big push for the next 15 minutes is what's required. Garrod McKiernan touching it down here, and Moyna comes steaming through the centre, sends it in there as far as the substitute Niall Murray, laid off as far as Liam Buchanan, and Buchanan kicks a beauty. Great response by Cavan. Killian Clark takes a return ball, almost playing the game at his own stride, lazily up towards Eugene Keating, and Keating has won his battle there with Cathal Sweeney and kicks it over the bar. What an invaluable substitution that one is. He may have come on for the injured Jack Brady, who scored 2 points himself, but Eugene Keating with his first kick puts it over. Declan Kine. This is the moment when they've got to try and generate something. The referee's going to give them a free kick for the foul on Paul Conroy. They got to get scores quickly, but the mass Cavan defence is working hard. Shane Walsh has had to come from outside, pick it up and slot it beautifully over with his left boot. He's got a second. He's been the main threat. Lovely pick up, wonderful completion there. So now it's a goal between them, 113 to 110. Plenty of drama. A game well worth seeing this afternoon at Kingspan Breffni Park. In it goes to Sean Denver. They're working it in. Brannigan hitting it. Goalkeeper comes out, needs to get it, doesn't get it. Here's a chance. Oh, taken off the line. Damien Comer's shot. Well, that was a golden opportunity as that ball landed in the square. Damien Comer picked it up here. And waiting on the goal line there was the cornerback Jason McLaughlin. Tomas Corr. Out it comes as far as Kieran Brady. Didn't fancy a shot. Cian Mackey does. Lobbing it in. Waiting inside there. Gibney back out towards McLaughlin. Comes out further. And it's Keating in the end. Spins, kicks and scores. Cian Mackey. Beautifully on here. Chris Conroy. Keating. Back it comes again towards Garrod McKiernan, the man of the match. He's kicked a 5th point. They've all been heroes, but he's led the way. He has the talent, and he's delivered this afternoon. Kieran Brady. In here as far as Niall Murray. He'd like to finish the job. He may well have done so. Another white flag. Murray kicks his 2nd point. There are 4 between them. It's all over. And Cavan have beaten Galway and more importantly, they have got the points to take themselves back to Division 1 of the Alliance League next season. It finishes here at Kingspan Breffni Park. Cavan 116, Galway 112.
Yes, well, look, I suppose it's something we've been looking for the last couple of years. We started to build back 4 or 5 years. We were on 21 level, and thank God it's starting to be a little bit tradition at senior level now.
It was the 7th round of the league, but it had the feeling of a final.
Well, I suppose it was winner take all, I suppose, and that's, you know, is Division 2 has been like that this last couple of years. Last year we were up against Meath in the same scenario, and we lost out that day. So thank God we pushed it across today.
Very disappointed with particularly the second half of the first half was disappointing. I think we conceded everything around the middle of the field, and you know, we couldn't get the run on the ball like we did for the first 15 minutes when we looked to be doing quite well. You know, the half time came at the right time, and you know, it's disappointing to lose, albeit the second half the lads showed a lot of character the second half, but we have gone missing in certain times of most of the games in the league this year, and that's a bit disappointing.
What does it mean to Cavan to be back in Division 1?
Well, it means a lot to this group of players, because it means they've been kept building, that they haven't been stepping back. We went from 3 to 2, okay, we consolidated there last year, now we've gone to 1, and hopefully we can go up and stay up there. Roscommon proved that you can go up and play and stay up there with the best, and so hopefully we can do the same.
Well, a hectic finish, but the win and promotion to Cavan. Obviously, Aaron Kieran, a great day for them and for Terry Island as well, because as often happens with counties around the country, people called for his head last year, but it's come right for them.
It has, and you have to give full credit to Terry. Last year, everyone had really got on his case. He was 5 years in the job. People felt that they were still just stuck in a defensive mode with no plan B. I think their scores, if nothing else, for this year proves that that has definitely changed. And you have to compliment him on that, because too many managers across the country at club and county level are sticking to the defensive game plan, and they're afraid to come away from it. He had tried it. It didn't work for him. It got them to a certain level at under 21 level. Now he needed to bring it on to something else, and yeah, you have to say full credit to him for that. Absolutely.
Well, they certainly did the right things in this campaign. Desi, one man stuck. In fact, Gerard Canning mentioned there, he described him as the man of the match in the game, and for you, he certainly was as well.
Yeah, Garrett McKiernan, keep that name on file, because he's a serious footballer, and he's come to championship. I expect more of the same, but he scored 124 in the league, all from play. It's incredible stats. Big, tall player, but he has some left peg in him and some right peg as well. But this is a long range. He goes over the moon, comes back down, lands in the net, but he's a real quality footballer. He has everything. And you see him here, he's tackling hard, gets an interception. I don't know how he popped that ball out, because the defender had all the advantage. He takes it on and kicks a fabulous point again. A great score there, and this is what he was doing throughout. 4 with the left foot, 1 with the right foot, and you can see it here at his ease. Another, he likes to kick them fairly high and land on there. I don't know if that's to make it look spectacular, but a great performance. And right at the end, the last 5 minutes, he was back in the full back line catching ball. So overall, it was an exceptional performance, and Cavan can be extremely proud tonight. A massive night for them guys. And can't forget Shawnee Johnson as well, coming back in and having a massive performance in the league. Killian Clark, but they've great players, and all that work under 21 is now coming to fruition.
I suppose as well as that, Garrod is seeing a little bit more of the ball, because you've been comparing Aaron Cavan's style. You actually mentioned it just a moment ago there, the way they're playing this season as compared to last year, say.
Yeah, and that's, you have to try and see and believing. What have they done different? And I think we have a few clips coming up here where you see that the man who ends up in it is Killian Clark. He's a superb footballer, very comfortable on the ball, but does a great defensive job for them. But full confidence here, breaking off the shoulder into the half-forward line and kicking a great score. Here, they get a turnover, but they're not happy with the turnover now. You can see they have 7 men, look where they're all going, heading up the field to try and get on the end of things. A quick hand pass, 2 slick foot passes. Even the last ball in here, it's not even of the greatest of quality, but it's in the right area. They have a big man in there and they're using him well, and David Givney kicks a super score. This is one area that I feel they can improve. If you look at the 2 men on the inside here now, they need to link up a bit better, talk to each other a wee bit more. Michael Argue needed to cut out and leave a one-on-one situation, which would give a goal opportunity. Later on in the year, whenever they're coming up against better teams and tougher opposition, higher pressure, they need to be creating more chances. That's just nitpicking with them. You see the same thing again. The 2 men are still in there and there's not a lot of movement, but if we're looking to say, can they get better again, absolutely they can, and that's just a bit of forward coaching that can come into it, but they have all the tools to do it.
They have. Well, I suppose they're going in the right direction. What about them next year, Desi? Because it's great to get promoted and get up with the big boys, but this is another challenge.
Yeah, well, Division 1 is absolutely ruthless, but I think this Cavan team have a lot to look forward to in the next couple of years because they're young, and you see some of the players they're naming, they're big, they're strong physically, they scored the most in Division 2, and like last year, as Aaron pointed out, last year defensively, like they defended well, but they didn't score much. This year they're defending well and counter-attacking well, and they've racked up big scores, a young squad. And you see what Roscommon did. They'll look forward. They'll use that model and see can they push on a little bit.
And the other great thing about Cavan is they're the most passionate of football supporters up there.
Yeah, well, the scenes right at the end tells its own story. And it's nice to see it because it means an awful lot. And even Terry mentioned last year they had an opportunity, but they will be absolutely thrilled and vindicated for all the hard work that they put in.
Well, Aaron, we now know the final standings in all of the divisions. We're going to quickly flick through those. But while we're doing that, there's another county that I want to talk about, which is Clare. Now, obviously, in a county like Clare, the attention is mostly on the hurlers, but they have had a great league.
They have indeed, and to see them they're promoted up to Division 2, right. I think that the fact that Podge Collins and the brother left to go and play for him, I think now that's starting to come, that it's paying off a bit for them. It was a big sacrifice. They've now got up there, but I think it's a compliment to, you've seen Gary Brennan's performances for Ireland in the International Rules Series last year, absolutely outstanding. People thought that was as good as it was going to get for him.
Yes.
No, it's not, because his county, not only him, are going to benefit, and they're starting to play at a higher level.
And I suppose, lads, I'm going to have to mention it. Your two counties, both relegated this weekend. Desi, that has bigger implications with respect for Westmeath, because this has been one-way traffic through the leagues in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, it's been extremely